we're just out of touch with this, and I hope to God that we never give up on or remember or forget September 11th. This affected New Yorkers, Westchester County, and I'm sick from it. From that day, I have illnesses. I've been last Thursday I was supposed to go to the hospital for my checkup for the World Trade Center victims, and I couldn't make it because I was sick. And in my sinuses and my digestive systems, the doctors have told me that I inhaled a witch's brew of toxins, and periodically I get sick. And from it, if I don't exercise a certain amount of times a week, I can feel myself getting sick. And when I exercise, it sounds foul, but I think it's how ugly that day was in the events. Is the sweat that I emit is an odor that comes with it, and it's terrible. It's just the whole. This is affecting people, and I still network. I left Wall Street 2 years ago. I still network with a lot of people down there, and I know a lot of people who are sick today from the events of 9/11, and they're getting sicker. And it's, you know, there's no Harry Potter wand that's going to save us all, but we have to be vigilant about this, make sure these events never happen again. And we should never go back to the September 10th mode. We should always be in September 12th mode, because people are sick from this, and they'll be sick for, it'll probably be what takes my life in the future. And the seeing the faces of the children, my kids and my wife, was the tough part.
Wow. Well, Greg, that's some day in your life and continues today. So there's probably other people in the same boat that you are, like you said. And I hope we can deal with it. I really appreciate you coming on, because it's so important today, like you said, to remember what happened. And again, I hope Homeland Security and the President and the politicians are doing the best they can so it doesn't happen again. So listen, Greg, let's change the subject, because that's pretty emotional. For the people out there, again, just keep your eyes and ears open, please, for anything that you see like that, and report it to the police or someone of authority really soon. We don't want to see this happen again. And it looks like we're stopping or foiling a couple of these terrorist plots, but keep your eyes and ears open and help us out. All right, Greg, let's anything else you got to say? Because that's pretty bad.
Well, I went to John Hall's town hall meeting last night, and his topic was the healthcare reform. And obviously, healthcare has a big issue in my life because of the event of 9/11. And I want to make sure that the needs I have for myself and my family are met. And I think that there's a fundamental breakdown of the powers that be, their government in this country. They're not the pinnacle of care and needs that we have. We need a free market system where we can go to an insurance company where we can get the best health for our citizens. My daughter kept on wondering, I took my 17-year-old daughter last night to it, and she kept on wanting to know, Mr. Hall has seen all the people there being so upset about this health care, the government wants to take it over. At what point, what is going to change his mind to say he's not going to vote for this? Greg Ball, he's a champion for a lot of things in the Hudson Valley. He's stood up to the people in Albany, and on the floor of the Assembly, he said this is the most dysfunctional state government in the country, and they booed and ridiculed him. our government leaders are out of touch. They're September 10th. They're spending. It's disgusting. That's one. 9/11 is what really started me more interested in politics and what's going on, and it's been snowballing to the fact that I'm just seeing more and more incompetence in our leaders, and they don't have the discipline or the thoughtfulness of what's going on with the general public. Running for this position of county legislator, I have to go out and talk to a lot of people. And when I talk to these people, a lot of people confide in me. And they all talk to me how financially bad they're doing. They don't understand government, what government's doing. The stimulus bill to me was a wrong move. I just think government is like a drug addict. Who uses stimulus? Drug addicts use stimulus. They're addicted to spending. They're addicted to taxing us. They're abusing people, and the most abused people are the seniors in our community. They are so overburdened with the taxes. Their spending power is going down and down and down, and there's no relief for them. It's disgusting. And you talk to people. I'm talking to people from all spectrums of life. I've talked to people who are making $1 million a year, and they're worried about being foreclosed, having their house foreclosed on. I talk to people making $40,000 a year, and they're afraid. They're living from paycheck to paycheck, and they don't know how they can stay in New York State anymore. They don't know how they can stay in Westchester County. It's disgusting how things are. There was Nick Bianco said today at a STAR program at Jefferson Valley Village. He said that he was in Richfield, Connecticut. There was a house identical to his there. It was for sale. He went in and looked at it. And that taxes on that house were $4,000 a year. His house, he pays $12,000 a year on taxes. Why? I mean, the schools in Richfield are just as good. The county, our county gets 25% of our tax bill goes to Westchester County for what? We're not even being competitive. And the people in Connecticut are complaining that their taxes are too high. What would they do if they came here? I went to Chappaqua, and people, a man from New York City came up, he was at a concert in Chappaqua. He was thinking about buying a house in either Chappaqua or Greenwich, Connecticut. He said the same house in Chappaqua, say the house in Chappaqua is $500,000. The house in Greenwich would cost $1.2 million. The taxes in Chappaqua are $35,000 a year. The taxes in Greenwich are $8,000 a year. He asked me, how do you people put up with this? Why do you put up with this? Why? Because we're in the September 10th mode. Nobody's challenging these people. Nobody's seeing how we're being disadvantaged. And our seniors are being abused, period. They're being abused. Vinny Libel made a point today. He says, anything north of the Bronx line, you're on your own. It's disgusting. The government has to be reined in. They're a drug addict. They're addicted. Who puts a tarp on? A tarp is something you hide your something in your yard. It's an eyesore. A stimulus. Who uses stimulus? Drug addicts use stimulus. Not people, not governments. Those are drug addicts. They're addicted. I'm just tired of it, and I need to. I'm stepping up to the plate. The opportunity came up for me to challenge a professional politician, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to hold him accountable.
Yeah, no. Well, really quick, you got 1 minute to go. What do you think about this desegregation with these 750 homes, real quick? Well,
it's a group of people from New York City coming up to Westchester County and suing us. Mm-hmm. That's wrong. That's for starters. And then the political wake from this is all for the Democratic Party and all those people. Then either the county legislator who said at one point it was a piece of garbage, that it wasn't worth the time and effort to challenge this suit, now he says we have to go by it. Again, this is abuse. This is either incompetent or they're self-serving.
Greg, we only got about 30 seconds. I'd like you to be my co-host on my show anytime you can make it. Okay, and bring up these things. And listen, thanks again. for telling us about 9/11.